I think the success comes from trauma. At the end of the day, the success comes from trauma. You need to put yourself through something traumatic, right? Because if you don't, it's not going to be enough motivation. If you can channel the pain of someone in your family passing, you're going to be really fucking motivated. If you can channel the pain of trying to save someone's life, you're going to be very fucking motivated. If you can channel the pain of being broke and never wanting to go back, you're going to be very motivated. But if you've never gone through any sort of adversity, what is your motivation? What is going to push you when things get tough? Because I can tell you now, like me, being broke, never wanting to go back there, is going to be more powerful than someone who's been rich all their life with a silver spoon. And let's say me and him had to compete, right? I know what it's like being broke. I'm never going to go back. You get to go back to your silver spoon, you're not going to be as motivated.
Right.
So I'll kill you because I'm doing whatever it takes to not end up there. That's why you see a lot of these people that come from rags to riches, that have really traumatic stories. They're the ones that succeed. And it's like, where else? They know what it's like at the bottom. They'd rather stay at the top.
Yeah, because the same thing that can make you laugh will be the same thing that can make you cry. And like you stated earlier, way back at the beginning, when we were talking about how you could have two kids, both 7 years old, both had their mom pass, both had their dad pass. One can use that as motivation to push. The other person can use that as excuse as to why they can't move forward. It's the same thing in everything in life. And you're absolutely right. Success comes from trauma. Just like, and I tell people all the time, because now we're in an age where it's almost popular to be depressed, right? And I tell people all the time, when it comes to depression, people go through spurts of depression. Everybody's going to be depressed at one particular point, but the same way in that depression, you can find a small beacon of happiness. There's some who can't find any happiness anywhere. But if there's something that makes you happy, you just keep doing that. Yeah. The same feeling that you have, you could apply that, because the same way you project that sadness into everything in your life. Like if 9 a.m. you're outside, you put on a new fresh pair of sneakers, you're walking down the street, you stepped in some dirt, the sneakers are ruined, you're going to be pissed off. Are you going to allow that moment from 9 to 9:03 to carry from 9:03 until 6:15 in the evening? You're going to let yourself be pissed that long? That anger in the small period of time, you can get over that, because you could just tell yourself, you know what, I'm not going to be pessimistic, I'm going to be optimistic. The moment that you find a piece of happiness, the same way that sadness and anger and depression can project in your mind, so can happiness. It's the exact same thing. It's an emotion. Yeah. So with that being the case, when you're feeling down, when you're feeling unmotivated or whatever, just find something that makes you happy. You do that and project that happiness into everything in your life. Yeah. And you'll immediately become a happier person because you're capable of it.
And the happier people are the ones that tend to be more successful because they can move through things with positivity. I think that's what it is. If you're doing something and you're angry about it, you're like moping around, it's not going to get done well. Whereas if you're doing something positively and you're happy, there's more passion that goes into it. And like when they say something's made with love, that applies to all parts of your life, right? Like our relationship was made with love. If you make a kid, it was made with love, right? If you're fighting, you hate each other, and you accidentally have a baby, that baby's gonna have a traumatic life. But if you genuinely make the baby with love, it's a happier child, it's a happier baby. If you make content and you're doing it with inspiration or something you genuinely enjoy, it's made with love, people are gonna be able to see that. They're gonna be able to, it's gonna reflect in the content versus someone that's forcing themselves to do it because they hate it. Anything, you make food with love and passion, it's going to taste better. So everything in life is always better when it's made with love, when it's made with positivity, when it comes from a place that you genuinely enjoy it.
And when you identify the love too, because a lot of people feel as if they're unloved or whatever, but you just don't see where you are loved. You don't identify what you love. Like people, whenever to talk about, like when we go back to passion, like do what it is that you're passionate about. Sometimes people can't figure out, man, what do I love? Well, write down the different sort of things that you do on a daily basis. There's something that you do on a daily basis that you love, and there's something that happens on a daily basis that loves you. Doesn't matter what it has to be, whether it be inanimate or actually living, one way or another, there'll be something. If you have plants, the plants love you because you keep the plant alive. That's a small piece of love that you can now take and project that into everyday life, immediately making you more happy. So ultimately, if we were to close it, we can just say you have to find the love somewhere. You have to find what you love, what loves you. You project that into your life across the board, whether that's you getting out of your comfort zone, whether that's you finding yourself in a state of victimhood, being on social media, feeling bad, whatever the case is, across the board, you have to be able to find that little gleam of love that exists, and you inject that into your veins, inject it into your everyday life, and project that not only to yourself but onto other people, because that's how you live a much more happy, more fulfilling life. You can't just every day you're in a situation where you hate somebody or you're hating on somebody or some of that nature. Your life will be so much better if you can find that love, and immediately, I promise you, things will turn around. You'll feel much better about yourself.
I love it.